Welcome to Garage Sales Unhinged.
Where the characters are as quirky as the finds.
I'm Julie.
And I'm Jake.
Join us as we dive into the wild world of garage sales, yard sales, estate sales, and anywhere secondhand sales are happening.
From bizarre bargains to hilarious haggles.
You won't believe the stories we've got lined up.
Let's get unhinged.
Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Garage Sales Unhinged. In this podcast, we talk about a bunch of nonsense in the secondhand sales market for the most part. I'm Julie and my brother Jake. Say hi, Jake.
Hi, Jake. I did not mean for that. I was just going to say hi, and then my name came out of my mouth like that. I'm sorry.
And we're both special individuals. How you doing this week, Jake?
I'm doing okay. You know, I got to tell you, I'm trying to develop a bit for the opening that I don't know if I'm going to keep up. I don't spend a lot of energy on it until like we're about to record and go, oh yeah, I got to come up with something, for the opening. And it's always, hi, welcome to the podcast, the only podcast that something about a garage sale, the only podcast with the price on the sticker, something like that. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if it's even going well, but I know you're not doing it. So maybe I should take that as an indication that it's not going well.
Well, because one, I don't have that same formula readily available. And two, I'm more of a visual person and no one can see my jazz hands whenever I welcome everyone to the podcast. So because this is only an audio event. Because everyone, I'm not wearing makeup. I'm barely wearing pants. Like, this is what true podcasting is.
It really is, yeah.
Okay. Jake, I want you to tell everyone, when we were growing up, what was something that you and our brother Richie loved to do until, like, you could start this at like 11 a.m. on a weekend and you wouldn't stop doing it until like 2 or 3 in the morning?
Man, Julie, you're going to have to be really specific about the age range because there's some answers I could give you that are probably not appropriate.
Well, I remember you guys telling our dad that you couldn't turn it off because if you did, you'd break it.
Again, you're going to have to be really specific here because I don't like what the kinds of answers I could give you.
Okay, your last.
I think I know what you're talking about, and I think you know what I'm talking about, but we're not talking about the same thing because for both of them, the answer is you have to blow on it.
That is very true. Okay, the last thing I was going to say is that you guys used to do this in my bedroom while eating chips, and I would get so mad that you guys were eating in my room, and I would like make a fuss about it.
Okay, then that definitely takes the dirty answer off the table.
I know.
No, you're talking about playing video games.
Yes. Yeah, video games. I am not a video game player. My thumbs do not do what my brain wants them to do. So like trying to hold a controller and go in a straight line or shoot something or, a kick. My thumbs don't do that.
I can vividly remember how charming it was to finally advocate the Nintendo controller to you. The 8-bit Nintendo controller to you. Now it's your turn, Julie, to play Super Mario Brothers. And how charming it was that every time you made Mario jump, you would actually lift the controller along with his motion upward and down as he came down.
I know. Imagine if I tried to play Grand Theft Auto today.
Oh, yeah. Everyone around you is getting hurt.
Now, I used to love watching you guys play and the commentary you and Richie would have on it. Like that would just make me laugh. But trying to be actually driving a video game character to do the thing, The only thing I could do is essentially have them turn in a circle. Like that was my extent of video game prowess. Like that, yeah, wasn't good at it. So today, what we're talking about is a video game called Garage Sale.
What?
I know.
I'm very excited.
So, it was a couple of students from the University of Wisconsin at Madison. They led this effort to create a video game called Garage Sale. It's an online video game. The students are Amelia Zollner and Rishit Khare. Hope I pronounced their names correctly. You can actually play this game off the platform Stream. It's $6.99 the last time I saw the price for it. But I'm going to read the summary of it. It says, so this is the description from it from the platform Stream. It's Garage Sale Day. Embark on a small scavenger hunt throughout Lettuce Village's community-wide garage sale. In this story exploration game, you'll collect items with strange backstories, help your quirky neighbors, and maybe even uncover some of the town's secrets. So the whole purpose of why this video game was created is so Amelia moved to Madison, Wisconsin for college, and she was homesick. And she wanted to create a video game that was garage sale, but it was more about like leaving your home, leaving your community, and going to do this thing. And she said the initial intention of it was that this video game was going to be very sad and melancholy.
Yeah.
And then once they started building it, it actually started creating like this uplifting community, and you're part of this group. And so it actually became a pretty successful video game for the students. But also it helped her connect to a community at college and helped her feel less homesick. Same thing with Rishit, Rishit. But he was also away from home, and same thing for him, is like this felt like community building and less around like I'm homesick type thing. So anyway, I thought it was very cool. Whenever I looked at I haven't played the game yet, and again, I'm not a video game player, but I think this type of game I'd probably play because there's a story in it, and you get to garage sales. It's fun.
I looked it up while you were describing it. It's on Steam, and it kind of looks like an Animal Crossing. Well, not Animal Crossing, but it's like a Stardew Valley kind of thing. It's a
Mhm.
3/4 overhead kind of adventure single player thing.
Yeah,
Look really cool.
it almost looks like the original Zelda game. Like,
Yeah.
we're gonna put give the graphics a name. And for kids that are listening to this, ask your parents what the original Zelda game looked like, or look it up online. You got it in your pocket. So it was really cool. And I thought, it was very interesting. Kudos to them for creating this game. And then it also made me go like, how did these students even get together and figure out how to build this game? And there's such a thing at the University of Wisconsin at Madison. They have a club called Game Dev Club at UW. So Madison, UW at Madison, they have an esports club, which is kind of like your intramural sport type thing. But those students, they're actually competing in other esports tournaments and stuff like that. This club actually develops games.
Yeah.
So they're creating and they're writing, designing all these video games, and vast majority of them are hosted online. They all have different types of graphics, but it's a bunch of students working together on this. And it looks like there's whenever I look at like their schedule and everything, like they have, part of me's going, ooh, pizza day. They have puzzle design.
You're looking at their schedule and you see their schedule pizza day. You're like, oh, wait a second. This just got real.
They have game jam check-ins and work time. But they're teaching people how to actually, one, write code, how to gamify things.
Right.
And so I like, part of me's going, that is so cool. This one, I was like, oh, they need to remove this from their games list. No, the game is actually called Flagged for Removal.
Oh,
And
cool.
I don't know what it's about, but I'm like, okay, that's kind of funny. Um,
Yeah, game design and development courses and in the college setting have been around for a while, and you'll even find them in some high school settings. And when we're districts that have the real juice, you even find it in middle schools. Uh, and I think as programming and low code, no code options become more prevalent, they're more accessible to people with less technical knowledge. Um, yeah, I think more of those kind of academic programs are going to be more common.
yeah. And one of them I see on here, it's called Smashy Brick, and you can play it on, you can get it through the Apple Store or Google Play. So clearly it's something that you play on your phone. Um, but part of me is going, man, that is so cool. And then also for these students to try to take something that for a lot of college students, being homesick is a real thing,
Yeah.
and going, hey, I'm going to do something about it. And they ended up creating this video game that is actually very uplifting, and I think they're still building onto it to this day. So there's different, I'm going to say, booths that you can go to in this garage sale, and different backstories and different characters and people. And then there's also things that you can do in here. And I think it also goes to the heart of an actual garage sale. There's like little projects you can do for the people to like help them out. And whenever you do that, then you like win stuff so you can go and get more things. And
I have to play this. This sounds really fun.
Are you planning a garage sale, yard sale, or estate sale and need some help? Look no further than Garage Sale Supply. They provide top-notch resources and expert advice to help you host the perfect sale. From pricing tips to promotional strategies, they've got you covered. Visit garagesalesupply.com and make your next sale a success.
the article that introduced me to this, it's from the Daily Cardinal. It got me like, oh my gosh, I didn't even know that game development was a thing, like a club. I knew that there was classes for it, but I didn't know it was a club type thing. Um, but then also just the community building in the game, but also the group of students it took to actually make the video game. And people are going, yeah, it's wholesome. It's good
Mhm.
stuff. And so for people that are, hey, I want my child, yes, I want my child to play video games, but I want to make sure it's wholesome and not Grand Theft Auto,
Yeah.
and I'm not trying to kill a hooker. Get them the garage sale game and have them play it. It looks so cute.
One of the things I love most about what you shared was the fact that these people were feeling kind of isolated, and they created their own community.
Yeah.
And they also kind of like infused this thing that they were making with what they were yearning for, and make that available to anybody that plays it. Like the feelings they wanted to get in that moment in their lives, they created for themselves, literally and figuratively, and they made it manifest in this game, and are imparting that benefit of community to people as they play it. I think that's beautiful.
Yeah. So this is a good feel good episode. And also for those of us that like, hey, I'm not going to a garage sale this week. I'm not going to a yard sale. You can do a virtual game that you
Yeah, it's
to
on
do that.
Steam. You can just go there from a browser. It's easy.
Yeah.
Like and the topic of video games is one that's kind of like, a heartstring puller for me, because yeah, it's a lot of nostalgic feelings. And Julie, you're right. You kind of, you mentioned a really kind of important aspect of that for me at the top of this episode, in saying that we stay up way too late and make up all sorts of bullshit reasons why we couldn't stop playing the video game. That's become really special to me. We stay up way too late and be way too loud. We weren't even trying to keep it quiet, as we played well past midnight. And not unusual at all, Dad comes stomping back there, and he tells us to turn it off and go to bed, because we're waking everybody else up. And we'd say, no, like, but if we if we just turn it off, then we lose all our progress, and that will upset us quite a bit. And God bless our father. I mean, one, he was like probably he was half awake. He was completely
Yeah.
half awake.
He
Was
he only
speaking,
did that
and
because mom told him to go in there and do that.
absolutely, um, he'd come in there and not really form complete words, but we understood through context clues what he wanted us to do. And in that bleary state, I'm sure, part of his logic was if they lose their progress, then they're going to have to play this late every night. And I don't want that. The sooner they complete this stupid game, the sooner we can all rest like normal, sane people. And I won't have to contemplate how to get away with their murders. And so he agree that yes, then we should get to a stopping point and then turn it off and go to bed. And he'd leave, and of course we'd play for another 45 minutes and repeat 2 or 3 times until it was forcibly turned off. It was great.
It was also one of those things because you guys kept doing that,
Oh yeah,
that mom and dad were like, you know what, just put it in Julie's room, because I had a TV in my room.
right.
I
Yeah,
had a
that made no
phone in my
sense. We had the TV, but video games were in a different room. Yeah.
Well, and I had a phone in my room. I didn't have a separate line. I just had a phone. I had the Garfield phone, and I had the TV. And you and Richie didn't have a TV or a phone in y'all's room.
Right.
And I know like that created a lot of animosity.
Oh yeah, a lot of
But-
friction in the house.
Yeah. But then mom and dad thought, okay, well, we'll put the video game thing in Julie's room and connect it to that TV instead of having it in the living room where like you guys are keeping everyone up at night. And then me being the little sister and you guys wanting to play it late at night. And I'm like, absolutely not. Go to bed. And then you guys would also eat chips in my room. And I was under the impression, I didn't really care about you guys eating chips in my room. But it was the one thing that I was like, it's my room, it's my rules.
Right. Yeah.
And I remember I would go to mom and dad and be like, they're eating chips in my room. And dad would be like, it's okay, Julie. I'm like, they're gonna bring in ants. I don't want ants in my room.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, your early training in being a narc or an op, as they say now.
Hey, it was how I got my way. So but yeah, video games are part of our childhood. Not clearly I enjoyed watching you guys play up to a point and then everyone needed to go to bed. But yeah, I thought whenever I saw this story, I thought, that good wholesome stuff from people in video games. We need to hear it.
I think the resale market in video games is pretty interesting
Oh yeah.
because a lot of the original media video games, your cartridges and stuff like that, things that you would put into an old Nintendo machine, you can get in various other forms. You can emulate those. You can play those things in a browser if you wanted to. But for a lot of people, they like the unique tactile experience of the controllers. They want to hold the media. They want to actually own the media. And
Well, it's
so,
the same thing of like whenever I think of like Nintendo's Duck Hunt,
yeah,
it came with a gun. Like,
blaster. Yeah, the
yeah,
light
I
blaster.
can't
Yeah.
do that from my keyboard. I need the actual thing.
Yeah. And it's it is cool, and it's not hard at all to find secondhand video game stuff, consoles and things like that. Hopefully they, if you are going to buy one, do your best to test it beforehand. But and if you do go to buy, say, like a old PlayStation game or something like that, they're all in their kind of essentially a DVD box.
Mhm.
Open it before you buy it. Make sure it's actually in there.
Okay, so while I didn't play video games, I do love skee ball, like the rolling of the ball into like the
Mhm.
multiple
Yeah.
circles. And then one time when I was at the Jersey Shore, there was this game similar to that, but it was like a bingo type thing where you had to roll the ball and you had a bingo um platform in front of you and you had to like try to get the ball into like whatever, like a straight line or diagonal or whatever you're trying to do on the bingo thing. Oh my gosh. You talk about like if they had that at casinos, I would be so far in debt because like they just combined gambling with skee ball
Yeah.
and I am here for it.
That sounds really, really dangerous. Yeah.
But now like I saw it and I'm like, I bet I could build that at home. I still haven't built one. Like, where am I going to put it? But anyway, good wholesome stuff. But yeah, if people, if you have $6.99 and you can get on the stream platform, again, it's just stream.com, and look for the video game. It's just called simply Garage Sale. Some students up at University of Wisconsin-Madison made it. It is good stuff, and enjoy playing it.
I'm going to check it out this weekend. Cool. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, thanks everyone. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye.